Happy November, everybody. We're the Board Game Mechanics. I'm Joel, and with me is...
Hey guys, it's Jason. What is going on?
I did that a little more normally this time.
Yeah, you did. I appreciate it.
I don't know if you guys can tell or not. My spooky Halloween voice came in a little late this year, so I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. But
Smelly cat.
Yeah, my voice is it's actually role playing a board game. It's kind of cool. It's playing as Vast. It's playing as the cave full of spooky bones right now. So
yeah, I had that last week, so now it's your turn.
Yeah, it is. Well, let's not waste my voice with zany banter, because everyone listens to the good boys of the Board Game Mechanics for all the good news and hot takes. So we'll get right down to it.
Yep. All right, so I have a few pieces of news today. And
hey, Jason.
Yes.
If I'm on the little NyQuil right now, so just making sure everything's cool here. If I stop making sense, just make me sound cool later in editing, okay?
All right, I'll do that. I can make the magic happen.
I'm shopping for an old dial wheel iPod in the background while you talk, so...
All right, sounds good.
80 gigabytes, $150 on eBay.
Let me know if you find a cheaper one than that.
All right, I will.
All right. All right, so the first bit of news that I wanted to talk about is Welcome To has a second printing out. Well, on Kickstarter now. And it also has some neighborhood expansions. I think this is just, it might add cards or change the board or something. I didn't look into it too much because Welcome To, everybody knows what that is. And the expansion is just more goodness. And it has about 11 days left by the time this episode airs. And I think it's at like 1,200% funded or something. It's insane.
Yep.
We'll be talking more about this game later, so I'm not going to belabor the point.
I actually have the Halloween neighborhoods. They emailed that to me and I printed them off. So... I mean, yeah, if we had played this game, Jason, we could have used those Halloween expansions if I thought about it. But
that's true.
But they're kind of cool. I mean, like, basically, the mechanic in it is like you can do tricks or treats, and it's like kind of a not really push your luck, but kind of a race to see you can get those done first. Kind of like those objective cards in the game too. But anyway, it's kind of a cool little other level in the game.
That's cool. Yeah,
not revolutionary really, but I mean, whatever.
Roll and Rights have infinite possibilities of things you can do, so it's nice that they keep jazzing it up so it doesn't get stale.
Well, okay. You say infinite, but someone out there is going to decide that it's not infinite. So let's just think here for a second.
That's true.
If there's 60 cards in that deck, I don't know how many cards are in the deck, but 60 exclamation point comes out to
an awful lot.
8.3209871 to the 81st power. So that's how many different possibilities there are of this game being played.
So let's say dozens. How about that?
Oh, okay, wait. That's just the number of ways that the cards could flip out. Then how you order them on your... Yeah, it's darn near infinite.
It's dozens. So dozens.
Yeah, like more than 40.
Yeah. 40, infinite, same thing. All right, so that's Welcome To second printing. Go check that out on Kickstarter if you're into rolling rights or flipping rights, whatever you would call this one. The next game I wanted to talk about is also on Kickstarter. It's from Gray Fox, and it is the sequel to Champions of Midgard called Reavers of Midgard. I looked at this a little bit. It looks a lot like Champions of Midgard. Everybody has their own player board. It has dice rolling, and you also have the area down at the bottom where you're fighting something. I'm not sure if it's monsters or just big bads, but it seems like Champions of Midgard, but a tad bit heavier maybe from what I read. So if you're into Champions of Midgard, this is probably the game for you.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool.
It's just really expensive. I mean, well, I guess that's relative, but $65 seems like a lot to me. So I'm out on this one.
Did the guys who do Raiders of the North Sea have another game come out of Essen or something? Or recently?
They kickstarted a game called Architects of the West Kingdom or something.
That's it.
Yeah, that's pretty hot, I think, right now, too.
Yeah, I even in my NyQuil brain, I knew there was another Viking game out there somewhere. So, no, this one looks really cool, though. I mean, Gray Fox hasn't let me down yet. I don't think I can think of a bad game they've made, you know? I mean, I'm thinking right now, I like Harvest Dice. I like Deceptions there, too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's all I can think of off the top of my head, but they do a good job with those.
Yeah, I have London Dread and Seven Ronin and Champions of Midgard. They're all good.
Yeah, I want to say I've got another one of their games, but I don't want to venture a guess and be totally wrong, and I would be. So let's move on.
We'll leave it at those. All right. So yeah, that's Reavers of Midgard. Go check that out if you're interested in fun dice games and worker placement. The last game I wanted to talk about is called Guardians of Wayword by Kid Loves Tiger Games. This is a dice building and card drafting game that can be co-op or semi-co-op. And it seems like a mixture of Legendary meets Dice Masters. Like, I watched some stuff on it, and it's pretty much 50-50, both of those things. So if you like those games, this might be a game you want to check out. 12 days left on the good old Kickstarter.
Hey, I don't know if you've noticed, Jason, in audience, but I'm doing my best Jason last week imitation with being sick here. And after you said Kid Loves Tiger Games, my very sick brain went... Baba da baba dang da ding dicky dicky. I'm like, oh man, sweet. That dude's getting into the board game world. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's Kid Rock, man. That's funny.
Same diff, man. Same diff.
Kids Love Tigers, Kid Rock. Yeah, you're right. It probably is the same.
Let's just be honest. Kid Rock probably has a tiger tattoo. So
yeah, among others, I'm sure. Yeah, you're probably right.
That man wore some very good hats in his day.
That is true. He does. So that's all I have for news. So unless you have anything you wanted to talk about, if not, we can move on.
I don't think you can trust me right now.
Yeah, you're probably right. I say we just move on to the good part of this episode.
Oh, the fun. What we played deluxe.
Yep.
It's on Kickstarter now.
Stay tuned next week for more news about that. All right, so last episode we talked about we were going to be getting together, having some games for BGM Con number 4. So this episode we wanted to talk about that experience, who all was there, what kind of games we played, how many games we played, and just what we thought of BGM Con number 4. So I don't know if you have anything to add to that, or we can just start.
If we get through talking about 4 games, we'll do our first stretch goal, which is put linen finish on our cards. And then if we get through all 7 games, we'll put metal coins in our deluxe edition that we're talking about.
And minis, maybe.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right. So I drove up and met Joel at his parents' house in a city yet to be unnamed.
My folks love having us there because I don't know. I think it lets them feel like they're like middle-aged again and that they're like very good high school boy, has some high school friends over. My mom loves to make us sloppy joes and all kinds of fun.
She does. The whole night she was like pushing food on us. You want this pizza? You want these brats?
Yeah.
That was funny.
Pretty fun.
Yeah, so me and Katie drove over there with the 2 girls in tow, and it was you, your brother Matt, and Jed. Well, Jed wasn't there the whole time, but he was there for a little bit. So those are the participants of BGM 4.
The Jed, yes. And you guys were too, a little bit. So
that's true. That is true.
There's a chance that you were able to be on the very good voyeur cam that we had going most of the day, honestly. So
yep.
That was pretty cool.
Yep, that was pretty cool. So when me and Katie showed up, the first game that was already set up on the table was the Roxley edition of Brass.
Indeed.
And that was game number 1 on the docket.
It was. And so mistakes were made. Let's just start off by saying that.
I mean, yeah, it's to be expected, I guess.
So in hindsight, if someone's not there when you're explaining a game and they've never played it, and then you're like, just sit down and play, it's fine. Maybe don't do that. I don't know.
Yeah. Just learn as you play. Yeah, that's never a good option for a Martin Wallace game.
This is a Martin Wallace game. I know you played Ticket to Ride. It's basically the same thing.
I did
come out at one
that.
point.
I did say that. Yeah. It has trains. I mean, come on.
Pretty darn close. It's like Ticket to Ride Rails and Sails because it has boats and trains.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, I haven't played Brass before, and I really dug it, even though it went on longer than it should have. But
oh, for sure,
I still enjoyed the game so much that I made a trade with you to get the old busted version that I actually played through a 2-player solo, and it was amazing.
Yeah, I love that game so much.
Yeah,
with a group that isn't like trying to learn as they go. It was my fault, man. Like, and then the second phase came and he's like, all right, I'll just put these out. I'm like, no, what? Okay. See how those are ones? You can't use those because, yeah, go ahead and put the ones out. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. So the first thing we learned at BGM Con 4, if someone doesn't listen to the rules, don't learn as you play. That's a mistake.
Right.
Yeah. So Brass is good. I enjoyed it a lot. Maybe, I mean, that's the second Martin Wallace game that I've ever played. So probably I might like it better than the next one we're going to talk about.
Well, okay, so it's in my top 10. Like, I'm spoiling this. You guys are getting a little bonus here, but I don't know. I love this game a lot, and that was the worst experience I've ever had playing it. And so I think we were all kind of thinking, hey, this game of Brass, which should be a nice, tight 90 minutes, went on for like 2.5 hours. So you know what we ought to do? We got to play another Martin Wallace game right after this one.
Yeah, and we did. We played London next. But actually, London went over a little better, I think, because it's a simpler game for sure. Yeah,
London went over pretty quickly, pretty good. I don't win that game. It feels like the way to win at London is like losing the least, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. You just have to be doing at least better than one other person, and you're all right. Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure like it was a really competitive tight game until the last turn where my brother was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and run my city. There's one card that'll flip. I've got 40 cards in my hand. Who cares? I'll take on the 35, 50 poverty, whatever it is.
He seriously had 50 poverty, I think. It was ridiculous.
And I think before his last turn, he only had like 20 maybe. So like, seriously. No, I think that's one of those games that I would suggest if you're going to play London, play it twice back to back. Like play it really fast the first time. And because it didn't make sense to me until it was too late. I was like, okay, so I got to get money to put cities out to keep me from getting more poverty so that I can get more cards to, just the way how the engine on that isn't just the tableau in front of you. It's the stuff on the board too. And so like, I don't know. The other thing too is I haven't played the new edition and I could be totally wrong on this, but I think having a board has its merits. So I think I'm with you. I think the old edition might beat the new one on this one.
Yeah, I like this game a lot. It's 100% engine building. That's all it is. It's night and day different than Brass too, which is crazy that it's the same guy because they're completely different games.
Oh yeah, and the other thing that's really cool about this game too is that the graphic design on the edition that we played is by that very good graphic designer who made old vintage cereal boxes in the 70s. So it's pretty good. Yeah, it's not great. It looks like every other Tree Frog or whatever game that they did of his, but it's but you love that look, man. I love it.
I do like it. Yeah, it's function over form. I guess I like it.
It's because you're a hipster, dude, and like you like that old vintage looking sweet original art, man. You like the smell of it. It's like you don't even listen to vinyl; you listen to reel recordings of the Beatles.
Yeah, that's true. That's what London makes me feel like.
Yep. That's what I thought too. Hey, this is like listening to a reel-to-reel recording of the Beatles. It's like breaking into Phil Spector's house and stealing. I don't. Did Phil Spector work with the Beatles? I don't know.
Probably.
George Martin. It's like breaking into George Martin's house, and is that who the guy was?
Pete Best. I don't know.
All right. If we mess this all up, just email us at jason@boardgamemechanics.com, bgmechanics.com.
Yeah.
Let us know who the producer. I think it was George Martin, but I could be totally wrong.
That sounds right. Or Yoko Ono or something like that.
I think Phil Spector worked with the Beach Boys. I know Brian Wilson produced a lot of their junk, but anyway, I don't know. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. So that's why we talk about board games, because we don't know who the producers are of oldies.
Well, it's a good transition to our next board game we played, which was 60s Britpop Invasion trivia game.
Trivial Pursuit Beatles, and we lost real bad.
Oh, real bad. It was. Let's not even talk about it. That was a real stink pot.
All right, so open the night with a medium weight Brass. Go into a Gateway London.
Oh yeah, family filler game.
Go
London.
into kids game next called
children's game.
Children's game called Welcome To. So we played a game of Welcome To against my wishes, but we did it anyway.
Jason was like, if we're gonna play this, let's just play Hi Ho Cherry and bring the girls in. So said that about 3-4 times.
Yeah. So I will say Welcome To was a good game. It was a good roll and write style game. Yeah. For what it is, I actually enjoyed it and had fun.
So, like, basically, what you're trying to say is, if you had to stick your foot into a bear trap, it would be this bear trap that you had to stick your foot into. Because I mean, like, you're a pretty big, not proponent, pretty big advocate to not advocate. Adversary to the roll and write games. Boy, the NyQuil timer is really going hard now.
Well, this would have been my one of choosing until I did one for a review recently that I like better than this one. But this one was still okay, though.
Well, should we tease it and just be like, go to the YouTube channel, figure out what it is? There's a really awesome roll and write that you did a review of last week.
That one is also called Welcome to Something. So go to the YouTube channel and check it out.
Ooh, there's your password.
Hashtag welcome to something.
Or hashtag welcome to YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
What up?
That's
no,
true.
That's not it. If you say welcome to YouTube, you get a low 5.
Yeah, so Katie ended up winning Welcome to on the third tiebreaker.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, I was tied with her, and she beat me on the third tiebreaker.
Well, like, here's the thing. My strategy in that game is always fill in the middle and then kind of work your way out. And, like, that almost always works really well until, like, you are going through the cards the second time through. And, like, every card that flips is a 7 and an 8. You're like, that's not good.
Yeah, I did the absolute opposite. I started with 12 and worked backwards. So, yeah, that seemed to work okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I like that game because my wife loves Racco, and she likes it pretty well. It was one that turned... I mean, like, after we played... I mean, basically 2 gateway games in your mind. But for everyone else, we were kind of like, hey... Our brains could use a little break here. Let's do this one, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get it. I enjoyed it. It's just not a game that I'm not going to seek it out and say, man, I really want to play Welcome to. But if somebody wanted to play it, I would not. I would be more open the next time because I actually enjoyed it.
A 6.
Yeah, it's a 6.
That's fine. I'll take it.
All right, and then after Welcome to, I think we ate some food or something, and then we moved on to Gateway Plus.
Yeah.
Called Lisboa.
Yep.
So Katie got to learn Lisboa. I actually got to play with real people because I'd only ever played against Lacerda. And it was awesome. I loved it. Yeah.
And so how do we do on the rules, Jason? Did we get all the rules right?
We got most of them right, but we had somebody in the live video helping us through the rules, and he knows the rules a little bit, just a little bit better than us, I think.
I'd say he's a rules expert, probably.
Yeah. So Vitalis heard to stop by while we were actually playing, and he was chatting with us and corrected some of our rules mistakes. And it was only one, actually. It wasn't terrible. There was only one rule that we messed up in that
minor
big
rule
beast
that we had just a little wrong.
Yeah, that's impressive, actually. Like for all those rules, and we only missed one, that's not bad.
And I mean, if I were going to throw you under the bus, I would say I didn't get it wrong, you got it wrong, but I would never do that to my co-host ever. So we got the rule wrong.
It was me, yeah.
The other part that was really fun too is when I was going to like shuck one of my boats to get, like I was going to get a second boat and I had to discard one. And like Vidal's like, no, boats are good. Keep the boats. Like I was like, all right, man, I'm not going to fight the guy who says keep the boats who designed the game. So
yeah. And then as he was getting off, he told us that we needed to make sure we built stores because they're important too.
Yeah. Yep, he did. And that's interesting because I think you built I don't think you built the least stores, but you whooped us, man. So I think it has everything to do with the fact that I did not, man. I was like, all right, I'm going to try not to take those like in-game scoring cards, which I know are like stupidly critical. But I was like, you know what? I don't want to waste actions on that. So I'm going to not do that. And so I think the things you did better than me, one is that you took the favor actions, not the favor, the little, whenever you went to the Monarch, you always got one of those little chits to be like, hey, I'm going to follow, you know? Yep. So you followed way more than I did. And then you definitely took those cards and did well with the cards. I think I probably had as good or better stores and infrastructure out than you, but you just did a better job of saying, hey, let's put points on the board. So you whooped us all, man. So congratulations on that.
Rubble cubes, man. That's where it's at too. Rubble cubes and public buildings. I love the rubble cubes and public buildings.
So this game, like, I don't even want to play it with Lacerda because
he slaps you around.
Well, yeah. And then you've got to you've got to have two halves of your brain working against each other. Not working against each other, but it's like, there's plenty to do there just playing it by yourself, much less running an AI, you know? So.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. So you like this as well as you thought you would?
Yeah, I did. I really enjoyed it. And like the more I play it, more second nature everything comes. So it's just like, oh yeah, if I go here, I can do this. Like all of it makes sense the more you play it, because it's really a simple game when it boils down. It's just the stuff that fires off of the one action that you take becomes a little crazy, and there are a lot of rules. So that's what makes it heavy, is the rules.
Well, I think it's one of those games that, like, honestly, you can figure it out fairly quick. I mean, honestly, like the guide and everything, like if you think of it as a flowchart, like if I do this, then this, if I do this, then this, I think you can figure it out pretty quick. But I think there's just such a complex puzzle that follows, and the way how everyone interacts with each other differently all the time. And just, I don't know. It's one of those games that, like, I don't know. You feel like you're really actually building something, which feels really cool. And then I think just the way how the puzzle plays out differently each time. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I don't think I would ever turn down a game of this. I think if someone said, hey, what's Lisboa about? I'd be like, huh, funny you ask. Sit down. Let's play.
You just carry it around in your car all the time.
Yeah. Travel Lisboa, like the little, like, Connect 4 in the plastic bin.
Yeah.
Have that in my car.
It is funny because, like, we're all the time trying to decide what our favorite Vital Lacerda game is. But really, I would play any of them at any time. Like, if someone said, I don't really want to play Lisboa, I'd rather play the Gallerist. I'd be like, okay. I don't really want to play the Gallerist, I want to play Kanban. Okay. I mean,
not a problem.
Yeah, they're all great games, and he's such a good designer that you're comparing 9.5 to 10 on all these games, and it's just, I don't know, it's tough.
I agree 100%. I haven't played CO2. That's the only one at this point that's widely available I haven't played, but I mean, I don't know. It doesn't appeal to me as much.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But I mean, whatever. I'm sure it's really good.
Yeah, I would play it because, again, it's Vital Lacerda, but it's not one I'm going to seek out, and I have the 4 that I need right now.
I would play it and probably go, yeah, that was amazing, and then be like, yeah, I've got the 4 I need right now. So I don't know. I'm definitely going to be backing on Mars though. Like, I'm already looking at the family shoe budget and be like, Luke, make those shoes last one extra month because Daddy's getting the deluxe edition.
You back that one, and I'll get Escape Plan because that one seems. I kind of think that one looks a little cooler to me. I know On Mars is bigger and heavier, but I like the Escape Plan premise a little bit. And
Jason, you got that thing about I won't play space games, so yeah, I get it.
And there is that. I wasn't going to mention that, but Vital, it'll be pasted on theme, so it could be anything probably.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I guess at this point, I'm pretty happy that you got a chance to be happy and play some games that you enjoyed, because the rest of the con are games that Jason, I don't think, would say are his cup of tea. Probably. I don't know.
No, the next one was okay. So after Lisboa, we went and moved on to a Richard Breeze game called KeyFlower. The Richard Breeze game, because all the other ones are just knockoffs. So this is the big daddy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think so. I think this is I think Key Market was first, but then he was like, this game's better than Key Market, so just don't remember Key Market. Remember this one instead.
Yeah. So
I don't know if Key Market was first or not. I think it is, but I'm not positive.
I don't know. There's too many of them with the name Key in it. I have no idea. There's like 9 of them or something. That's probably wrong, but there are a lot.
So this one's really good, Jason, if you have people who are all on the same skill level as you. So it got kind of dumb because, I don't know, people didn't know what to bid on at first, and they didn't exactly understand how to score points. And I think this is one of those games that, you can try and explain it, but, you won't really understand, how you're going to make your own points engine until you've played through it once, I think. So,
right, yeah.
I don't know. I remember my first time playing it thinking, no, that was fine. But then, every time after that, I'm like, okay, I know what I'm trying to work for now. And, by all accounts, I should have just destroyed you guys, but, I totally didn't at all. I didn't win, I'm pretty sure. So, I'm not sure who did win that game. But at any rate, you guys did a good job with it. But the bidding was really fun. There's a couple rules. There's a couple things where the iconography is just real dumb on it. So some of them are you place a guy here and that lets you trade in a certain color guy for a different color guy. So it takes 2 guys to get the one. And it just doesn't really indicate that on the tiles very well. And then there's other ones too, where that 4+ thing on the ship bidding thing, drove us crazy forever. And I mean, I'm pretty sure. And I don't know if somebody knows better, tell us. But I've always played that as just hey, this is what you play with 4 or more players. You play with this hex, you know?
I think that's right, but that iconography sucked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. So I don't know. And then the game's a little fiddly to set up too. Like you kind of got to figure out your piles of tiles and just go from there. But I don't know. It's perfectly fine for sure. And like I don't think anybody can say it's a bad game. I think people could say I'm not into the bidding mechanism, or they could say I'm not into the long setup times and stuff. And I would definitely be like respect. But I like this one, and it's good with the right group. I don't know. I think if that said, if in hindsight we were doing a redo on the weekend, I would have probably said, "Hey, let's play Heaven and Ale instead," or something probably. But I don't know. I'm no regrets, I guess.
Yeah, I liked KeyFlower, but I didn't like the tiles in front of me. I didn't like the player board part of it. I liked the bidding part. I thought the bidding was fun, and the bidding on the boats was fun, and kind of trying to flip the tiles to score points. But I didn't care about, hey, you got a tile in front of you. If you put a dude there, you can do stuff, or go to this person's tile and you can do stuff. That wasn't interesting to me, but I did like the bidding. The bidding was really fun.
Well, I think the best tiles didn't come out either, is the other thing. So like you always have like 3 tiles that aren't going to show up in every game. Or in games with our player count, there's 3 tiles that aren't going to show up. So I think some of the best, richest tiles to put into your little like village or whatever weren't there. So I don't know. That kind of hurt it a little bit in our play. But I don't know. It's just, that's the other thing too, is like, I've played this game a few times, and sometimes people get seriously aggressive on the bidding, using your people as currency to bid. Other times people are like, I'm not going to bid on anything, and people win for like 1 meeple a ton because they're using those people in their own village or using them in other people's village to do work, you know? So I think the thing that you and I had that kind of was like, oh man, we're coming from behind here, is that we just barely lost a bunch of auctions in the first round. So I think you got 0 tiles and I got 1, and we spent tons of guys bidding, and then we still didn't get much out of them. So like that just handicaps you a little bit, but I don't know. Overall, I enjoy that game. It's not a 10. It's between a 6 and an 8, but there's no number between 6 and 8, you know? So, I'm going to give this one an 8.
Yeah. I mean, the way that you have to bid with certain colors is really cool. I kind of wish that, you know, if there's yellow there, you can only use yellow stuff. I wish other games kind of did that, because it makes things a little more interesting. You could have a pile of blue, but somebody goes there with 1 yellow. Your blues are worth nothing now. So I think that's a really cool mechanism, and I really dug that.
It's like a Trump mechanism almost, you know?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I can see that.
And then the greens make the game kind of interesting too, that those greens, like I just stayed out of the green game. I was like, you know what? I'm going to have 1 green guy, and like I'll let Jason and Katie fight over the green guys and like outbid each other. And it didn't really work. I mean, you guys kind of played nice, but yeah.
We did one time, like she wanted this 1 tile, and I outbid her by like 1 green guy. So, but that was the extent of it, really. It was just 1 bid.
The other thing too is I wish there was a way to make your movement a little more powerful in that game, because there's so many good ways to score points, but you have to start moving resources so early in the game to get them where you need them to be, and like forward plan. Like, okay, well, I'm going to really plan on trying, like you have those winter tiles. You almost really have to think like, okay, for the last season, I'm going to have like 8 yellow guys ready to go, so that way I can definitely win this, plus do this other thing to get tons of wood here. You know what I mean? Use all my movement and get like tons of points from wood or whatever. So I don't know. It requires a lot of forward planning too, that just you have to play a game a few times to get it. I know some people just love KeyFlower, absolutely love it. Like I know Ryan Metzler, like just like raves about this game, but and usually I really respect him. Like he's like one of the guys in the best tower that I'm like, man, his opinion is really good.
Right. Yeah. I'm with you.
But I think to say it's your number 1 game of all time, I don't know, man. I'm not there yet. So maybe it will get better with me, but I like it just fine.
Yeah, I would play it again. And I think now that I know how to play it, I would do things differently, and I would probably enjoy it better the next time.
Speaking of games you don't enjoy at all, Jason, what do we play next?
Yeah, next game we played was a roll and move game called Downforce.
I don't know that you roll so much, but yeah.
It's a flip and move. Flip and move.
Flip and move. No, I actually really like this game, and it's funny because like I was talking to my brother about what he thought about the games we played, and he was like, bar none, Downforce was my favorite game. And like, bar none, Downforce was your least favorite game. So it's just, I mean, people just have different tastes, and that's fine. I mean, that's why there's so many different choices out there for games. And I really do like Downforce. But like, I don't know, this is the worst game of it I've ever played probably. Cause like, there was one car that took off at the beginning, and no one was able to slow him down at all, because like, just the way how the wilds were, and just, I don't know, nobody else got aggressive enough to try and block him. So, it was kind of fun that the team of Jason and Jed just took off and destroyed the rest of us.
Yeah, I mean, I had fun playing it. It wasn't a game that I felt like I did anything meaningful, you know? So it's like, well, I don't have any cards to play, so I have to play something. I can't move my own car, so I might as well move this green card that's in the lead. So it's like it kind of made the decisions for me, and I don't know, this game gets so much like love, and I don't understand it. Like I thought, well, maybe this will be cool, and it was okay, but I was like, there's no reason it should get as much love as it does.
So the things that we didn't do as much as you normally do when you play Downforce is I didn't pay attention to my hand of cards as much as I normally do. So if I were really doing a better job paying attention to my hand of cards, I would have bid a lot more on. Since we had such a high player count, I didn't get aggressive with my bidding at all, and that kind of screwed me up because I had really good black cards in my hand, and I ended up owning like the orange card or something. So like,
right,
I had awesome black cards. The other thing too is then like you bet kind of based on like, well, okay, this 8's been burnt, and they've seen a few 6s come out for this one. And I have these cards in my hand, so I think I can make this underdog come in and win. And so, I mean, I forget which card I bid on, but there was one card that I was like, man, I think this one's not really had a lot of cards played on it yet, and I think I can bring it forward. And I did. I think it came in second, but winning all 3 of your bets in second place when someone else wins all 3 in first place, you're just not going to win, you know? So, I don't know.
Right. And then I didn't spend any money on getting a car at all. And I only had cards that go with green, and Jed got green. So I just had to vote on him and let him win. And even though he had the car and got first place, I still only lost by like $6 million.
Right. Absolutely. And this is the first time I've ever seen a negative points scored in this game ever.
That's because your brother had 2 cars and they both like didn't do very well.
Like DNF'd. And he had like spent like $12 million on them, I think, or something crazy.
Yeah.
So
what do you have, like negative 2 million or something?
Yeah, I think -2 or one of the two. I mean, I do like this game. I'm really curious about some of the other tracks that are available. Like, I'd be really interested in checking out some of the expansion tracks because there's a ton of tracks for it. The other thing too is I don't know. I haven't looked into it enough yet. But as I'm playing this game, those 6 powers that are out there, they're all really good. But I'd be really curious if there's more powers, like another pack of powers. And that would be a really great way to expand the game too, is to have another set of drivers, you know?
That would be cool.
I don't know. I do like it. I mean, for it just being like a little quick party filler game, that's the other thing too. This group we played with, man, I like everybody in that group. I really do. And it's not you or your wife's fault because you guys are like ideal board gamers. Like, hey, I thought about my turn quite a bit when it wasn't my turn. And here's my turn. It's going pretty quick. Other people who shan't be named, but it wasn't you, your wife, or me. They tend to not think about their actions that much until their turn happens.
Yeah.
And then they like play out 5 different scenarios in their minds and just, I don't know, like any game that should be short and quick like that, just the momentum's killed so bad that like it doesn't end up being short and quick. So like this game of Downforce, it took probably 45 minutes or better, you know? I mean, and it should have been a 20-minute game. So
right, yeah.
I don't know, that kind of sours it too.
Yeah, I mean, again, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate when we were playing it. I just also didn't love the game. And I was looking on BGG, and this game is number 515. There are only 514 games that are better than this.
Here comes the clicky keyboard because I want to just make a point here.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna look up a game here too, real fast.
Man, your keyboard is really clicky.
It's a mechanical keyboard. I'm a real video game boy. Otherwise, but so okay, I'll see your 515 and raise you. Jamaica is number 417 overall. So I mean, like apparently Jamaica's 100 games better than this one, and I don't know. Like there's nothing Jamaica does better than this to me.
Downforce is better than Jamaica. I'll give you that. But either way, like. It just seems really high for what this game does. And I understand it's fun. It's the betting part. Like it gives you that like, yeah, I'm going to win. Cause I gave Jed a high five when he won and I was into it. So I think it's more the feeling of the game than actually what the game does. So I guess that is what it is.
Yeah. And then speaking of clicky keyboards, here we go. You know what the real crying shame is in this whole thing? Oh, dude, I can't find it. Our boys at R&R Games. Dude, this isn't even on. No, come on. Home stretch has got to be.
It's not on BGG?
Yeah, it is. It's got to be, man. Formula
D is 448, and I think Downforce is better than that mess of a game, too.
Yeah. Anyway, home. It's R&R Games is home stretch, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that game's awesome, too, man. I don't know. So, anyway, whatever. that one's just dice downforce, though. I mean, if I'm going to be honest. So, anyway, I don't know. Racing games, some people love them. Have you ever played Pitch Car?
I have not, but that's like a flicking game, right?
Yeah, I don't get how that one's in the top 100, honestly. I mean, like, I don't know. People love it, though.
I can tell you why. Big Tommy V talks about it all the time.
Big Tommy V, the Kingmaker?
Yep. I think it's because he talks about that game so much that people like it. I don't know. Like, it seems okay, but again, it's a flicking game. I'd rather play Downforce.
Yeah. Yeah, he loves flicking games for sure. But that said, I do own like a lot of flicking games myself, but Pitch Car, not so cool. I don't know.
Yeah, not my style of game, but we did not play that at BGM Con 4 or any of those other games that we went off on a tangent on. We played Downforce, then we moved on to the last game of the night when everybody was very tired.
Jason, this episode would have been like 30 minutes if we didn't do that. So it was pretty critical we do that.
That's true. That is true. So the last game of the night is Legend of the Cherry Tree that blossoms every 10 years.
Yeah, I didn't do well at this one, did I?
No, you did not. Well, it's because you kept drawing like... It's a push your luck game, and you push your luck every single turn. Never got anything behind your board, your screen. You're not going to win that way.
Yeah, yeah, no, you're right. And I mean, like, I don't know. I was pretty tired at this point, and I wasn't super into it. I couldn't quite understand. I couldn't, like, my brain was mush, man. After you play a real good game like Downforce that requires so much brain power, it's hard to play anything. So that's...
Yeah, that's true.
I'm lying, but
I think Legend of the Cherry Tree uses more brain power than Downforce, actually.
Yeah, it might, because of that whole, like, do this and you can put stuff behind your screen and stuff. Yeah, it does have some thinking in it. I'm thinking, did we play something between Downforce and Cherry Tree? Maybe not.
I don't think so. I pondered through it, and I don't think so.
I think yeah. I mean, I kind of feel like you got them all.
I looked at my pictures that I took, and after Downforce's Legend of the Cherry Tree, because we stopped recording after Lisboa, and then we played KeyFlower, Downforce, and Legend of the Cherry Tree.
Yeah, I think you're right. This game's not bad. The cool thing about it are those little, like, flowers that you draw are kind of cool plastic. I don't know. It's not a bad game for sure. I mean, I don't know if I'd play this over like Ink and Gold or something else like that. It's a push your luck game, but I don't know. It's as good as any push your luck game, probably, really. And it's cool.
It's on the same plane as Ink and Gold. I think Celestia is a better game for sure, but I do like this game and Ink and Gold about the same. They do the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. And then, like, I don't know. Like, the other thing, too, is, like, I kept doing, like, I'm going to draw 8 and thinking, like, okay, eventually at some point, like, the odds will be in my favor and I'll have a big turn to, like, get caught up. But, like, it never happened. So I, like, lost, like, it was, like, 21-78 or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Katie had a pile of points. Yeah.
Yep, for sure. Really pretty game, though. It's got some nice art. I mean, it's a yellow game, so I don't know what else I would expect. But, yeah, really pretty game.
Yeah, it's a good game. I like it, and it's a game that kind of goes under the radar. Not a lot of people are talking about it, so this will be one of the games that I champion as a good push your luck game. And after that game, that is the game that we close the night with. Close BGM Con 4 with a game about a cherry tree that blossoms every 10 years.
And it was like a thing of beauty. It was like a closing ceremony. It was like, hey, we had the Olympics of board games. Now we're going to have our very good closing ceremony where we draw cherry blossoms out of a bag.
Yep, that is true. All right.
So games we didn't play, Jason. How about that? What game did we not play that would have been like, oh man, I wish we could have worked that one in? I'm gonna say the one I'm thinking of that you brought in your bag.
Okay.
Is Tricarion. I wish we would have played Tricarion in there somewhere.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I also, another one that I brought that I wanted you to play was Merlin.
Yeah, both those I think at one point were like, hey, do you want to play these? And I think we were right in that, like, yeah, we played a couple of medium weight to Jason games. So I don't know if I want to explain these games to these simpletons is kind of where you're at, but
no, like I did say that I didn't feel like explaining them, and they are both like sometimes games are easier to teach than others, and then Merlin is a beast to teach. Like it's not that hard to play, but it is a beast to teach, and I just didn't really feel like going into it, so that kind of steered me from that game.
Yeah, Tricarion, I think I'm going to watch a rules explanation of it. And then, I don't know, I'm guessing like what we ought to do next time we have a BGM Con is say, hey, you guys, look out at that other table out there. they're playing a real good game of Cash and Guns. You guys should run out and play Cash and Guns. And then you and I will sit down and play Tricarion instead.
Yeah. Yeah, you would dig that game. But yeah, in your bag, what else did you bring that I wanted to play? I wanted to play Feudum, but again, that had the same issue with, do I want to learn a game for an hour? So we passed on that one hard.
And that would be learning a game for an hour for sure. To only have a game that, has confrontational war type stuff in it that you wouldn't have been crazy about.
Right.
It's not super prevalent, but it's there. I mean, it's enough that you would feel it. The one I want you to play so there's 2 games that I definitely want you to check out because I think you'd like them. And that's in spite of your protests. The one I think you'd be okay with. I really want you to check out Airlines Europe because it'll be your favorite children's game ever on your weight scale. But I think it's as good a family weight game as you can find out there.
Right.
And then I didn't even bring it this time though. Then the other one was Power Grid, and I just can't believe you haven't played Power Grid. And that's one that it would have been 2 hours with our group. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Most groups, I probably could have taken that game to a retirement community of people playing bridge and been like, hey, I know you guys have never played a board game ever. You're only playing bridge. But let me explain this game and let's play it. And it probably would have gone a little quicker than our group was going this last Saturday.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about that game. I like Freedom and Freeze, but man, there's just something about that game. It just doesn't attract me or interest me. I don't know what it is. I'll probably play it.
Board.
Yeah, but clearly I don't care about that. I like Martin Wallace and all his games look hideous. But I don't know, I'd probably play it and love it. I can't get past that initial ugh.
It's super good. It's your Marco Polo, man. I'm telling you right now, it's your Marco Polo. Once you play it, you'll be like, oh yeah, that is good.
And it probably is. I don't disagree with you. It's just, I got to get there.
So let's just do this right now to make the secondary market copies of Power Grid drop a little more. Let's pretend this is real. Okay. So, let's just put this out there and we can put it on our clip show that we said this. Then we played Power Grid, and it's such a bad trash game that everyone should sell their copy for $5 on Board Game Geek to anyone who'll buy it because it's such a bad trash game.
Yeah, I'll buy it. I would like to check that bad trash game out.
Yeah, it's a bad. Well, we played it, Jason, and we said it was a bad trash game.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's true. We did play it. You're right.
And it's a bad trash game that you should buy for $5 shipped.
Yeah.
I mean, it only costs you $6 to get rid of the game that way because shipping costs at least $11.
That's true. Yeah.
I think you would like that game. I like Stockpile too. I brought that one along too. That's just that's a good game too, but that's a little light. I think at one point you made the statement, you're like, dude, I'm not driving 4 hours round trip to play children's games.
That sounds like something I would have said, but I don't think I said children's game.
I was like, Jason, dude, seriously though, I don't know, Concordia. Can we play Concordia? I'm not playing children's games with you after driving 5 hours.
I would have probably played Concordia. Did you bring that?
I didn't bring Concordia.
Oh, okay.
Well, I knew it had just that bad looking box, and there's no way the children would play it, and that's the only people who would play it, the children, because it's a children's game.
That's true. Yeah, I kind of wish we would have played Heaven and Ale instead of Downforce. I do dig that game a lot.
Yeah, Heaven and Ale's really good. And actually, that's one that my Fort Wayne people have played. So I don't know. The other thing too that kind of stuck out to me is people who were complaining kind of a lot. They were like, "Hey, man, we love playing games with you, but can we maybe play a game that we already know once ever? Because that'd be really cool." And my reply in my brain was, well, you know what? If you guys would just get obsessed about board games and play them every weekend, you would be playing these games several times and be tired of them by the time Jason and I are too, and only want to play the hottest new games. So the hottest new games like London and Brass.
Yeah. That's funny. And Downforce from the 70s or 80s or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty serious though. They were both the people were like, it'd be really cool if next time we could play a game that we already knew and didn't have to learn something. And I get that. And I don't know, it makes me think a little. I try and keep my collection at, around ballpark 300 games, and I'm over that right now. But I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking this Champions of Midgard, Reavers of Midgard coming out is probably a better version. I mean, honestly, that I would like better. But Champions is still a really good game, and I've played that with people, and they know how to play it. And I mean, I don't know. They won't know it's the second best game like it out there if I don't tell them about Reavers. So I don't know. It's worth consideration that stuff that people already know how to play and enjoy might be worth keeping, even if it's not the best one, So yeah. I don't know. It's something I'm starting to think about a little bit.
No, I get it. It's just hard too when like we don't ever get to play games but like twice a year. So then like we want to play games that one, we haven't played before or with each other so we can talk about them, and two, then we have to teach those games to people who aren't really into games, and it just kind of bogs it all down. So yeah.
No, you totally nailed it right there. For sure.
So yeah, that was the games of BGM Con 4. So we'll do a quick recap. We started the day with Marty Wallace, Brass in London. Moved on to some Flippin' Right, Welcome To. Then we dove into Vital Lacerda's party game, Lisboa. Then we did some bidding on a KeyFlower. Did some roll and move of Downforce. And then we gathered some cherry blossoms from the Legend of the Cherry Tree that blossoms every 10 years.
My ratings were Lisboa was my favorite game, followed by Brass, even though it was a bad play of it. And then I'm going to give KeyFlower and London a tie, personally. So that was my personal, like, how I enjoyed things. The other stuff, I'm not even going to mention. Like, it was fine. But, yeah.
Yeah, I probably would go... I probably would just go Lisboa, Brass, and then London as well.
Yeah. Yeah, you weren't too down with KeyFlower, and I get that. And the other thing, too, is, like, KeyFlower is kind of a late part of the day, too.
Yeah, I don't care about that as much. Just, I don't know, it's one of those games that it's been hyped up by a lot of people, and I don't know, I think I just expected more from it.
Yep. All right. So, stuff that I want to play at the next Board Game Mechanics Con is I want to play Mask of the Red Death.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've just been seeing a ton of really cool stuff about that game.
Good game.
I want to play Gugong. It should be around by then, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then I want to play Blood on the Clock Tower, but, like, someone's going to have to manage that 1,000 indices book for us to play it, I guess.
The Big Mama book with the flannel graph inside.
Yeah. And one of those slide rules, too, I think. So, but that game does seem pretty awesome. I don't know if it'll even be out in like a Kickstarter or like out next year, but man, I think it looks really cool.
Yeah. We talked to that guy a long time ago. I don't even know when they said that was coming out. Maybe January. It was going to hit Kickstarter somewhere around there.
Well, I remember him saying when it was, and I was like, man, that's still forever away. But I don't know. It seems pretty cool.
Yep. I would like to play, I don't know, Gugong, and then I'll bring some kids' games.
Yeah, that'd be really good. That you bring along Voyages of Marco Polo and other What's Your Game games.
Yeah. I'll get Madeira and Nippon. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be good. Those are good children's games.
Yep, that they are.
Well, cool. Well, that was about it, guys. The NyQuil is fully kicked in now. So I've been Joel.
And I'm Jason.
And keep gaming. And we're not going to try and say it in unison or anything like that because, come on, man. That's not us.
Oh, we might. I'm going to edit it in. You wait.
Keep gaming.
All right. There we go.
That's some good, clever editing there, Jason.